Who am I? I play games, not casually, competitively. What does that mean? Esports, let me explain it to you. Esports is a competition, particularly video games, and is between players and teams. Esports take the form of organised multiplayer video game competitions between other professional players. Common video game genres associated with esports are real-time strategy, fighters, first-person shooters, and first-person perspectives, and multiplayer online battle arenas. Tournaments such as the International, the League of Legends World Championship provided live broadcasts of the competition and prize money of up to $1 million to competitors. Esports is all about tournaments, the best gamers in the world pitted against each other to prove who is the best. Esports is a competitive video gaming played by professional gamers. Their profession, those who choose to master their skills, techniques and strategies to compete against other gamers like them. Formed in teams with others to play that same genre of game. Teams share emotional moments, losing and winning, frustration and regret when they didn't win. It was a collaboration that brought esports into the world's centre of attention and opened the gates towards becoming a world-renowned gaming event, esports that is. What made esports as a major gaming phenomenon today? Let's begin with its wide variety of genres and games it has. Esports has a wide coverage of fighters, first-person shooters, and multiplayer battle arenas. Many genres manifested multiple variety of games. For example, for real-time strategy we have StarCraft Brood War, StarCraft 2 Heart of Swarm and Warcraft 3. For fighters we have Super Smash Bros, Killer Instinct, Street Fighter, Tekken and Marvel vs Capcom. For first-person shooters we have Quake, Counter-Strike series, Call of Duty franchises, Halo series, Crossfire, Special Force 2, Unreal Tournament, Overwatch and Battlefield series. For third-person perspective games we have Fortnite, Rocket League, Gears of War. For multiplayer battle arenas we have Dota 1 and 2, League of Legends, Heroes of New Earth, Heroes of the Storm, Smite and Vainglory. With the number of different genres of games we have, players have their own game and genre to have a chance at becoming successful. With the rise of esports in mainstream media, huge amounts of people who made it clear that the professional video gaming phenomenon is not a sport. Others may have pointed their fingers on the fact that esports is becoming increasingly popular worldwide. The consideration it was given for being an official support, however, it's not just popularity that had placed the said gaming phenomenon. It has reasons as to why it should be one: careful planning, precise timing and skill for execution. Esports can offer computer competent individuals a choice of game that they could play. Everyone has a chance to play for that shot at success, where they could very much excel, allowing players to compete with skilled individuals for a good game. However, not all are successful and fail. Failure means losing, and that gives them a chance to learn from mistakes. This is how it differs from basketball, volleyball, chess, soccer or even football. How are these games different from other major sports? Professional video game is that it doesn't limit itself in a force-cornered court or a broad field. Always fast-paced, experimented with tactics in order to kill the opponent, being challenged with regards to maps, difficulty, assets and characters. Always something new about these games. That uniqueness is directed people's interest onto the pro video gaming phenomenon. For instance, Call of Duty, it's one of those games in esports that is continuously evolving for the better. Continuous franchising of the game makes it tough for gamers to master and keep up with the strategizing techniques to win each battle. There's always something you can always look forward to in esports. It's never too dull. With success and failure there's drama between players, team arguments, losing and winning. Another fact that brought esports onto the international scene is competence and expertise of every team as a whole and player individually. Whenever we watch a game, we look up to a team or a specific player who we admire in the game itself. It's not just the game that brought us to watching the season, rather it was personalities we look forward to, progression they all make and how they all work to win the battle they're in. However, it can't be avoided when a player chooses to leave their respective teams because of drama they choose to leave. Circumstances may appear unfortunate, teams do not stop, they will continue finding pro players completing their lineup and continue their brand's legacy. The team's personality remains despite major roster changes that could have occurred, such as that Minsky's roster change for Dota 2. It's like Boston Celtics being Celtics despite Garnett, Pierce and Rondo leaving the team. That may be a bad example, but you get the idea, right? The teams and the players both have contributed to the growth of esports. A variety of leagues, tournaments and other esports events. Basically, the internet is what connects esports to people. What further exposes esports to the public is that tournaments and other esport events hosted and organised by leagues and associations and sponsored by major corporate companies. But what is exactly are the roles of these people or events? For an esports tournament to work out, funding is direly needed. Local scene of esports, say in the Philippines during the early years of esports, cafes, shop owners hosted and organised a lot of mini tournaments within the premises and offered players fair amount as their cash prizes. These cafe shops turned into national professional gaming organisations who in turn provided successful players in each pro video gaming genre to the international esports events or competitions. Professional video gaming landscape began to reach a wider audience. Corporate businesses entered the scene to sponsor major esports events and tournaments all over the world. Tech companies such as Razer, Intel and Logitech. While for major esports tournaments we have Intel Extreme Masters, Electronic Sports World Cup, Evolution Champion Series, Call of Duty World Leagues, European Gaming League, Garania Premier League, Halo Championship Series, Ultimate Gaming Championship events, Major League Gaming and League of Legends World Championship. However, it's not only about getting abundant prize rewards, rather a proper and stable source of funding for maintenance of equipment, stadiums, network connections and other staff who will make sure to produce a quality gaming tournament. This too attracts a lot of audience. What makes esports popular? A huge fan base. Yes, if you haven't been to any esports tournaments, have you watched a live tournament? You'll see why it's climbed up the ladder of success in its years of existence. What did it feel like to win or lose?
Winning was a real high, losing was a real low, to say the least. Number 6 is he's been in about 5 different teams now. The last one I remember him being in was G2. That was like when I was really following it at the time.
Esports proved of any genre that it has a place on earth in every heart of its loyal fans.
There was an online feature for a game I always played, Minecraft, where you could go against each other online in like a Hunger Games type of situation. So that was my first time going against a bunch of players in a competitive battle format.
The League of Legends World Final Tournament, which was held in Seoul's Sangha Stadium, 45,000 spectators came to watch 16 teams compete for the trophy. That's not everything, it also had 27 million viewers present online watching it live. Who wouldn't have thought esports is this big? It's 45,000, is it big enough for you? How about 52,000 passionate fans who watched a live gameplay at the Electronic Sports League Cup at Frankfurt, Germany? Esports has moved thousands and millions even, people who turned into fans as they watch for highly skilled people fight against the opposition. Do they come out successful or do they experience
dedication more than anything? You've got to want it more than anything. You might think you want it. You might think you're the best. There's always someone better than you, and there's always someone who wants it more than you. So all it comes down to really is who is the best and who wants it more. Because as I said, people think like, oh, because I want it, I'll have it. That's not going to happen. You got to work for it, and work for it, you will get it. But you get out what you put in at the end of the day. Just time, practice. It's really like it's a lot of really small things that really make a big difference. But I would say it would be just the sheer drive. Like, you know, because you can have your good days, you can have your bad days. But depending, don't need to sound like Rocky here, but depending on how hard you get back up, or how well you get back up, sorry. That really does define the type of player or person you are. Not just with esports, but in general in life. Like, if you could just bounce back and keep going and going and going, you will find success in that. The weakest link, and if that person's bringing them down all the time, that team isn't going to get anywhere because that negative voice is just going to be prevalent the whole time, and they're just not going to get anywhere with it. Whereas if you have someone who's the opposite, someone who can laugh, make jokes, things like that, all of a sudden the team's just flying through.
Increasing media exposure, esports has become successful if it was not able to conquer other mediums of coverage. Aside from the internet news organisations, live streaming services are focuses on the industry. Esports Heaven and Twitch respectively were the original means of broadcast for the pro gaming events, popularising of said sports, of course, while television coverage of television broadcasts international esports events in the recent years Activision Blizzard, a huge esports publisher and major acquisition of League Gaming. US cable networks solely focused on esports. It aspires to get higher quality productions to extend esports appeal to advertisers.
Probably 2015 or 16, I started playing Rainbow Six Siege. I think it was the 5th season. Good, it's winning. You feel right on top, but losing sucks. Depending on your day, it can like absolutely crush you, just because you were right there and you just didn't get it. Pulling the community together, it's about just a celebration of video games, really. I think you've got to have good communication skills and you've got to be able to work with people. If you're bad at communicating, then you're just not going to get far. Yeah. A good bond, like a good synergy, they need to be able to like bounce off each other, whether that's in games or just out while hanging out.
More so, they need to be able to communicate with each other and be able to trust each other so they can depend on each other's strategies and shot calling, but also be able to rely on each other to lift each other up if they ever have to bounce back from a loss. Passion and being able to dedicate as much time as they can to hone their skills, practice what they need to, and keep playing.
Probably open world survival games, because it's just fun to adapt to a new environment and try and survive and learn along the way. I believe it's about players coming together and trying to win a tournament with the skills they've learned and acquired over time. I think they need to be very adaptable, because if you're going against other players, you need to think on the spot, you've got to be quick, and you've got to come back from certain scenarios. Also resilient.
Success means competition, and it wouldn't be considered success if there was no effort exerted. No challenges that were encountered during the process, that means failure. Not being able to beat the opposition to learn and make up for your mistakes you make. What is considered success? Is it beating the other guy, or is it achievements? I think that's what esports means to me, beating the other guy.